So I take it if you're here, you probably have big boobs. You probably don't like them. Hence, you're thinking about getting a breast reduction, chopping them straight off. Welcome, my name's Emma. Welcome to my channel. I do things on fashion, lifestyle, mom life, DIY decor, budget-friendly things, all of that fun stuff. Today I'm just gonna jump right into it. I had a breast reduction. I used to have huge boobs. Now I have small boobs. We all know in today's world of 2020 fashion, it is not big boob friendly whatsoever. Wearing bras is a thing of the past. We don't wear bras anymore. The smallest boob holes possible. I'm gonna start from the beginning on why I elected to have breast reduction surgery. I obviously had really big boobs, and if you can tell, I'm a very small, petite person. So big boobs was very disproportionate for me. I had really bad back pain and shoulder pain and neck pain, all the pains. Before surgery, I was a triple D cup, honestly pushing quadruple D. It was insane. I'll see if I can find a picture that isn't like just straight boob. This all happened in 2017. I was 19 years old at the time. So to start the process, I wasn't really sure how to do it, and obviously it depends on where you are, but I live in Canada. I had to go to my family doctor first, get a referral to a plastic surgeon. This is obviously under the realm of plastic surgery. It's more of a cosmetic surgery. Most of the time, it can also be like it can be a surgery for medical reasons, which mine was. So I got referred to see a specialist. That took forever. I'm just gonna preface you right now, if you're even thinking about getting a breast reduction, go see your doctor now. It took 2 years for that plastic surgeon to even give me a call. Once I got the call from the plastic surgeon, I was able to book an appointment within like 6 weeks. That was my consultation appointment, so like your first appointment. And then after that, it can take several more months, literally half a year to even up to a year before you actually get your surgery. So it is a very long process. If you're even thinking about it, just go for it right away. Absolutely no harm. Worst case that happens is you change your mind and then the surgeon moves on to the next patient on the wait list. Not a big deal. 2 years after I talked to my family doctor, I got a call from the plastic surgeon to go in for a consultation, which was basically just very initial information to talk to the plastic surgeon, for the plastic surgeon to like physically assess me and see what needs to be done, what kind of procedure he needs to do, make sure it was something that was needed for me and doable on me. In the consultation, there wasn't a whole lot that went on. He basically just showed me some before and after pictures he had from patients that he had with consent. My daughter's awake, hold up. Hey. Oh, you saying hi to the camera? He's so nice. This is my daughter Avery. She's 1 year old. She's so cute. You say hi. You're so sweet. And then obviously we talked about like the risks that come along. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. Consult with your own doctors, surgeons. We went over some of the risks and he talked to me a lot about scarring. I really wasn't concerned about scarring because I was like, no one's really gonna see the scars. Also worth it in my opinion not to have back and shoulder and neck pain. February is when my consultation was. Don't hear anything until about June. I get a call from the receptionist at the plastic surgeon's office and she was like, hey, what are you doing in 2 weeks because we have a surgery date for you? Yeah, I'm free. Within a span of 2 weeks, got a phone call and had a surgery date because I think there was a cancellation. My surgery date actually is now my daughter's birthday. My body goes through a lot on June 30th. I had a surgery booked, I don't know, it was like 9 or something in the morning. It was like 12 hours before something. I couldn't eat anything, couldn't drink anything. I also had to have a shower, but I had to have a special shower. I had to buy this sponge. Let me see if I can find what it's called. I'm pretty sure it was a Clarkson pre-surgery sponge. I just found it at like my local drugstore. It wasn't expensive. I had to use that and then put on clean clothes afterwards. Basically saw the surgeon that morning. He like went over things one more time, like drew all over me, kind of talked to me, made sure I was feeling okay. And I just kind of waited for a while in the beds. Then it was surgery time. For some reason, I didn't get like rolled into surgery. I literally had to walk myself into surgery. That was kind of like a nerve-wracking thing. Like I wasn't nervous beforehand or anything. Needles and everything don't really stress me out. The nurse came to get me. She put this like warm heated blanket over me. Well, this seems kind of unnecessary because it's June. I was like super nervous, but this like warm blanket like super calmed me down. I don't know what it was. I walked myself into the operation room and it was just like Grey's Anatomy. Huge light above me. I could see the table with all the things that were like gonna cut me open with. Oh, this is a little nerve-wracking now. I lied in the bed. They like put my IV in. I got super shaky and dizzy and I was like, whoa. And then I all of a sudden started talking like all this random stuff. Wait, what are you gonna do with the extra stuff you cut off? I don't know, it goes in bio waste. We deal with it, don't worry. I was definitely like kind of drugged up at that point already. They like put the gas on me and it only took like, I don't think I made it 5 seconds counting. Everything just goes black. I blinked and then I opened my eyes. If you've ever been under surgery before, let me know how that like worked out for you. Opened my eyes and I was like in this different bed, not in the surgery room anymore. Looked at the clock and it had been like hours. It's like a few hours surgery and then I slept for a few hours after the surgery. But apparently I actually woke up super early after surgery. I was supposed to sleep for many more hours because I woke up, no one was tending to me because I was supposed to be sleeping. I tried to get out of bed instantly. You're not supposed to be using your chest muscles. And I was like trying to sit up and the nurses had to come like push me back down. And I remember being so chatty. No filter whatsoever. Any minuscule thought I had, a word vomited out of my mouth. They were really nice. This was like 4 years ago. I don't like recollect what happened. I didn't have an overnight stay because it's like a pretty minor surgery in that regard. I remember I had to get like wheeled down to the car in like a wheelchair because like I couldn't really walk yet. Get home and it was basically for like the next 24 hours, honestly for like the next week, I just slept so much. I didn't realize how tired I was gonna be, but it makes sense. Your body's obviously in recovery state, so I was so tired. Basically, I was given some pain meds. I'm pretty sure they were T3s. They weren't super necessary, honestly. I personally have a pretty high pain tolerance. I probably took them for like a couple days and then I personally didn't need them anymore. Within a couple of days, you kind of have to like change dressings every now and then. They give you like a schedule and I got my sister to help me with that just because it was like a little bit too much to do it on my own. Moving your arms is a lot of chest muscles, which you want to avoid as much as possible. Also, bathing, you have to wait like a certain amount of days before you can bathe. When you are allowed to bathe, you can't get them wet. So like I had to pour a bucket of water on my head in the bath and make sure you have someone you're comfortable with that's able to help you with that. For clothing, good suggestion I had was to get shirts that button up at the front so you can put them on easily. I got nursing bras. You're supposed to get your pre-surgery size, so they're like kind of looser fitting. And if you can also get bras that do up at the front. Bonus, I wore that for a really long time because you're not allowed to wear like underwire for quite a while. So around the 2-month mark was when I started to be a little bit more independent. So at this point, I was mostly self-sufficient. Only things were I still needed help showering, I think at that point. I couldn't lift to put plates up into the cupboards yet, so I had to keep all our plates and dishes on the counter, or I'd get my roommate to put them away and grab me stuff. Text her from the couch and be like, can you grab me a plate? But it was just like really random things you didn't realize you use core / like chest muscles until you actually needed to use them. Things like closing the car door, I didn't even think would be a problem after having a breast reduction surgery. You don't think those go in hand, but like closing the car door is usually like this arm muscle, which if you don't know, kind of works like your pectoral muscles. I'd hold my arm close to my body and do like a whole body pivot so my arm wasn't moving in relation to my body. Really random stuff like that. I adapted for the few weeks of recovery. It was definitely worth it. And then around by like 4 weeks, I was like basically back to normal. The usual recovery span is about 6 weeks. By 4 weeks, I'd say you're pretty functional. If you're working like an office job, a lot of people go back to work by then. Yeah, I couldn't really lift my arms like above this at 4 weeks, which was fine. And then by about 6 weeks, I was completely recovered. My arms were able to go up. My core strength was pretty done because I hadn't used a lot of core muscles for a while, and my chest, it was really easy to build it back up. It didn't take that long. For breast reductions, you can get one of these 3 cuts, I think are the main ones. So I got the middle one, which is the lollipop shape. So I didn't have like major stitches. So around 6 weeks, your incisions are fully healed, but the scar tissue is still healing over time. Obviously, you're kind of swollen afterwards, so the swelling was finally going down. I could see the true cup size that I was. I went from almost quadruple D all the way down to a C cup. Would have gone smaller if I could, but that was the smallest that my surgeon said he could go. Anything smaller than what I had, I was gonna be happy with. I know I have a before and after photo of me in a bikini. I don't know if I have enough balls to post it. I'm gonna do it. So please don't be mean. It's kind of scary posting your boobs on the internet, but I also think that this would be really helpful. I know I liked watching all these videos, kind of knowing what to expect. If you're finding this video helpful for yourself or entertaining, I'd really appreciate if you hit that like button. It'll really help support my channel and really helps show your support and appreciation for all the work that I went into this video and all the nerves that I had to overcome to post such personal information. I'm trying to normalize it, be open about it, normalize it, because it's really nothing that I could control to help other people and let you know that you could also do this and live your best small boob life. 1 year later, I feel like the scarring was completely normal. Mine ended up being like super white and light. Not that I would have cared either way, but it's super faint now. I can barely tell from far away. It's really not a big deal at all to me. No one really sees it. Who cares? Scars are scars. I think it's worth it. I had some disheartening results, I guess I will say, symptoms when I got pregnant. Naturally, your boobs get big. They prepare for breastfeeding. As soon as that baby's in there, your boobs are like, I was at a C cup, immediately up to a D cup within the first month. This sucks. Obviously, it was so worth it. Don't come at me in the comments. I would take big boobs over and over again for babies. Still sucks. You know what I'm saying? I know one of the big concerns and risks for breast reductions is the inability to be able to breastfeed later on. My surgeon told me it shouldn't be a problem and most of the time you're able to breastfeed afterwards. Lucky for me, I was able to breastfeed my daughter, no problems whatsoever. 3 years later, my boobs were totally functional for what they're meant to do, and that was breastfeeding a baby, and they did that. Not saying it's gonna work for everybody, but I am saying I was able to breastfeed post breast reduction. When I actually had Avery and my milk came in, my boobs got even bigger. They were back to pre-surgery size at that point. And once I stopped breastfeeding, within like a month, my boobs shrunk back down to what they were before. I think they were even smaller than they were post-op pre-pregnancy. I was like a bigger C cup after my surgery, but after breastfeeding, I was like a really small C cup, even maybe a B cup. There is the chance that my boobs, well, there's no chance. They will definitely get bigger when I get pregnant again and breastfeed again. I've just accepted that will be happening. I'd imagine my body is probably gonna do the same thing. I don't know if any mamas out there who have breastfed 2 babies, well, that's 4, breastfed 2 babies, anything more than 1, and you wanna tell me after you finish breastfeeding the babies if your boobs did the same thing, whether they stayed the same, got bigger, got smaller. I wanna know. A very overarching question, is the breast reduction surgery worth it? 1000% yes. I have 3 other friends that have also had to get breast reduction surgeries and everyone is so glad they did it. The recovery time of 6 weeks in the grand scheme of years of small boobs is so worth it. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer about breast reduction surgery and recovery and pre-op and post-op, comment them down below, DM me on Instagram, let me know. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about my technically plastic surgery experience. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.